Hey, so I just wanted to show off something in Massdriver. It's something I've kind of started to take for granted, but we were on a sales call earlier and somebody saw how it worked and they were blown away by it. So I figured I'd just throw it in the little video and share it on the old LinkedIn. So for people that aren't familiar, we're an infrastructure automation platform that lets your operations teams take Terraform modules, Helm charts, publish them to a registry, and then your developers that aren't familiar with Terraform can just diagram what they want from the cloud as self-service, and we do all the provisioning. So this is a couple of Terraform and OpenTofu modules. This is a Helm chart. We support this idea of kind of pushing information between different modules and different IAC tools. But the thing that kind of blew somebody away this morning that, as I was saying, I've started to take for granted is our dropdowns, right? So this is just a Terraform variables file for deploying an Aurora Postgres instance. And you can put in dropdowns, which is cool. So developers don't have to guess at like the values to put into a string, right? You can also do things like set labels. So while I'm setting the value to be a DB T3 medium, I might not know what that actually is. And so I can say, hey, here's a label. It's burstable, 4 gigabytes, 2 vCPUs, right? So you can kind of make it a little easier for developers to self-serve without them having to go and like Google all the different instance classes on AWS. But the thing that I think blew the person away the most was I was just kind of showing off setting the Postgres version, and you can see here that everything under the version I'm on is grayed out. And so in Terraform, this is just a string. You can type whatever you want here, right? But in Massdriver, we actually have these annotations that you can put in your config file to say, hey, this isn't just a string, it's a symver version. And I don't want to allow developers to downgrade because I might lose data in AWS downgrading a database. So you can kind of start to codify rules and help developers not just get self-service for day one stuff, but actually self-service for day two for provisioning. I can do a minor version upgrade myself, but there's no chance that I would do a downgrade and destroy some data, which is pretty cool. One of the other things that our dropdowns let you do is modify the view that you're looking at. So this is, again, this Terraform variables file. In Terraform and AWS, there's some fields that just don't matter based on what your current config is, right? So looking at Aurora, ACUs are one of these. You can set ACUs when you're using a regular instance class and it just doesn't do anything, right? And so what you can actually do is instead of having all these fields kind of present, you can actually have the form change based off of what your current config is. So if I were to switch from serverless to, let's say, a T3 medium, those fields hide because they're not applicable. So that's it. Just kind of wanted to show off how cool dropdowns are. You use them every day. You love them. Anyways, drop thoughts in the comments, I guess.